Tommy Robinson has been arrested not in the UK but in Canada, in Calgary, and he was arrested outside a hotel where he'd just been giving a speech about freedom of speech and so on. Now, again, I preface what I'm saying by pointing out that I'm not a supporter of Tommy Robinson. I don't endorse his views in any way, but I am concerned about people who are earmarked for constant surveillance and who seem to be constantly pulled over on very flimsy, for very flimsy reasons by a huge number of police, 10 police officers, some of them undercover, some of them in uniform, to arrest this single man on outstanding immigration charges. Well, if they're outstanding immigration charges, why was he not arrested at the airport? It all seems very odd. He's now free. He's been told he cannot leave Canada, and so he's trapped in another country. I suppose that solves some of the British problems, but it's as if we've got rid of Julian Assange and now we've got rid of Tommy Robinson, and this is the use of what I object to and what I find very worrying. It doesn't matter what the issues are. These seem to be politically motivated concerns, and agitation concerns. And the law and the government authorities seem more concerned about this than they do about serious crime. And yes, it's high profile. Yes, Tommy Robinson has been indiscreet in the things he has said and the way he has said them and the comments he has made. Indiscreet, provocative, and maybe even wrong. But I'm not sure that merits this level of criminal pursuit. In the same way, Julian Assange, yes, was indiscreet, yes, was thoughtless, yes, endangered lives, but, the lives were endangered by the communications that he revealed. And I think all he did was all that communication stuff did was to point a finger of blame at government departments, rather than specifically put people in danger. They were already in danger. I don't think he helped, and I don't think he made these people's lives better. But again, I'm not sure that the damage he did merits the level of legal and governmental and police disruption that we saw. And the same thing is true of Tommy Robinson. There's a point at which a society crosses from democracy and good health to tyranny and bad health. And what I fear is that we're witnessing that. And one of the reasons I'm interested in Julian Assange is because I don't share his views. One of the reasons I'm interested in Tommy Robinson is because I don't share his views. So I feel I can be significantly more dispassionate about both of them. And I can look beyond the incidentals, I hope, to the bigger issue. And the bigger issue is about the power of the state. And we hear a lot of talk about the independence of the judiciary. Well, I don't see that. And that's what's worrying. It's not about whether or not it's true. It's about the optics. And the optics in both cases are the optics that I would expect with Navalny and with the various individuals who have been imprisoned in Russia for political offences. That's what I worry about.
How's your luck? Okay, you've got 190. What about my stuff? What about my stuff?
We'll get your stuff.
Absolutely insane. Give me a look.
Outstanding immigration warrant. Copy.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy. Can I put these in front of you?
How are we sure that Tommy Robinson isn't going to join the likes of Anna Politkovskaya, who was killed in 2006, Boris Nemtsov, who was killed in 2015, shot dead near the Kremlin itself, Alexander Litvinenko, who was poisoned with polonium-210 in London, Natalia Estimirova, who was killed in Chechnya. She was documenting human rights abuses in the region. Sergei Magnitsky, who was killed in 2009. He was a lawyer who was exposing large-scale fraud involving Russian officials. He was arrested and he died in prison under suspicious circumstances. This led to the creation of the Magnitsky Act. Then there's Khodorkovsky, the former oligarch and the head of Yukos Oil Company, who was arrested in 2003 and imprisoned until 2013. Alexander Navalny, of course, who he was arrested in 2021, sentenced to over 2 years in prison, which was then extended and extended and extended. He was poisoned and then probably assassinated. Tolokonikova, who is from the Pussy Riot group, who was imprisoned in 2012 for hooliganism in a cathedral. Ildar Dardin, who was sentenced in 2015 to 3 years in prison for reputedly participating in unauthorized protests. Apparently he was tortured. Yuri Dmitriev, a historian, a human rights activist, who was arrested in 2016 and sentenced to 15 years in prison on what seemed to be jumped-up charges of child pornography and sexual abuse. Again, it seems politically motivated. These cases illustrate the risks faced by those who call out Vladimir Putin for, or who question the authority of Vladimir Putin. Shot, killed, assassinated, poisoned, or imprisoned, and then tortured, and finally killed. And what is the difference between Assange and Tommy Robinson? What is the difference between these two in practice? And this huge list of Russians who fall foul of the system. And that is the question, really. Have we crossed that line, or have we not? Is the imprisonment and the arrest of Tommy Robinson legitimate? Similarly, is the imprisonment and arrest of Julian Assange legitimate? Or have we crossed the line, and are we holding people because they have raised issues about the health of our democratic systems?